the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Professor Kithure Kindiki, and a hand clap is always welcome. Karibu sana, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. I request that we get seated. Thank you, Rebecca, our Minister for Tourism and Wildlife, and the great team from the ministry, the PSs, the CEOs, and everybody else. I am pleased to be here at Uhuru Gardens, a site infused with history, at the opening of the 2025 Magical Kenya Travel Expo. I welcome all of you, guests and stakeholders alike. Your presence here confirms that Kenya is a trusted and dynamic player in the global tourism space. Tourism is a critical anchor of Kenya's economy and a pillar of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda that we are pursuing in this country. In 2024, Kenya welcomed close to 2.4 million visitors, marking more than 15% increase from 2023. Revenue from tourism increased by 20% to 452 billion Kenya shillings, an equivalent of 3.5 billion US dollars, with domestic tourism showing significant growth potential. The World Travel and Tourism Council has revealed that Kenya's tourism sector is set to contribute a record 1.2 trillion Kenya shillings, an equivalent of 9.3 billion US dollars to the economy in 2025, equivalent to more than 7% of our national gross domestic product. The tourism sector is also expected to support 1.7 million jobs, which is over 8% of the total national employment. These figures translate into jobs for our youth, markets for our farmers, and sustained customers for our micro, small, and medium enterprises. The unique multiplier effect of tourism cannot be overstated. Every visitor who chooses Kenya supports our agricultural sector through the food they enjoy. They support our transport sector by the air, road, and rail travel. They support our local cottage industries through the crafts they purchase. They support the hospitality sector through the hotels, conferences, and entertainment facilities they patronize. This is why, within our national agenda, we have positioned tourism as a fundamental business enabler and a platform that stimulates investments while giving foreign exchange and uplifting countless auxiliary industries. Our commitment to enabling tourism to prosper is underscored by the government's transformative strides in improving our infrastructure. The upcoming Nairobi-Nakuru-Mau Summit Highway, for instance, will dramatically ease travel from here, Nairobi, into Western Kenya. It will also provide seamless access to iconic sites like the Lake Nakuru National Park and the scenic tea estates in the highlands of Kericho. At the coast, the landmark Mteza Bridge and the Dongo Kundu bypass have already revolutionized access to the south coast of Kenya. The Lamu Port development, the standard gauge railway expansion, the broadband, internet, and energy connectivity projects are all designed to create an enabling environment for tourism. In aviation, Kenya is opening up its skies. Direct flights from global hubs such as New York and London, including the newly launched Gatwick route by our national carrier Kenya Airways, now ensures that visitors can reach our shores within unparalleled ease. Visa-free access and upgraded hotel standards continue to augment these efforts. Kenya is enhancing its position as an East African hub. We must, however, do more to operationalize the bilateral air service agreements that remain latent, especially with our target constituent jurisdictions across the African continent. We are witnessing the exciting rise in cruise tourism. The reception of the Norwegian Dawn in Mombasa earlier this year signaled our readiness to capture a tourism potential of immense proportions. The subsequent berthing of numerous liners at the modern Mombasa cruise terminal has reinforced this growth by bringing direct economic benefits to a wide array of local entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the positive picture, our numbers could do better. We remain head above shoulders when ranked against our East African brothers, but struggle when compared to destinations in North and South Africa. Indeed, Tanzania and Uganda numbers are rapidly rising at 2.1 million and 1.37 million visitors respectively in 2024, the same period of review. This, of course, pales in comparison to the global giants in Asia and Europe, raking in numbers in the double digits. With Africa emerging as one of the strongest performing regions in global tourism recovery for the year 2025, we must do more to tap into this growth and drive performance. Kenya's traditional offerings of wildlife safaris, cultural heritage, and coastal retreats must indeed continue to draw international visitors, but they must be complemented by new and innovative products. I commend the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife in its recent efforts to drive the Astro-Tourism initiative that takes advantage of Africa's equatorial positioning. Desert safaris in areas such as Chalbi are also emerging as significant tourism opportunities to rival the Middle East and Asian markets. The same can be said of the mobilization of Kenya's reputation as a technology innovation powerhouse and the continent's Silicon Savannah, positioned to drive tech-driven tourism solutions targeting young technology entrepreneurs as principal actors. We must develop new tourist products and exploit untapped potential in non-traditional attractions and regions to spur the sector's growth. We must capitalize on the opportunities that intra-Africa tourism can provide within the context of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. For this to happen, the tourism sector must become a critical interlocutor in the transport, logistics, trade and investments, land and environment, MSMEs, labor and social protection sectors, driving the policy focus towards synergized outcomes. We must also deliberate on how to market Kenya and the nuances that characterize the Kenyan experience. Over and above the Kenya of the Big Five, there is the Kenya of M-Pesa and mobile money, the Kenya of Twitter, now X, the Kenya of Eliud Kipchoge, and the Kenya of Wangari Maathai, the Kenya of innovation and leadership, the Kenya that hosts the United Nations, the biggest United Nations facility in the global south, is situated in this city. We must market that Kenya. Kenya's identity is one of profound diversity. We are the cradle of humankind, with Turkana and Rift Valley hosting sites of unparalleled archaeological significance. We are also home to over 40 vibrant communities, each with unique traditions, cuisines, and art. By diversifying our offerings into culture, sports, faith, and heritage tourism, we shall continue to ensure that Kenya holds a compelling appeal for every visitor, from the thrill seeker to the pilgrim. Underlying our efforts must be an unwavering commitment to sustainability. We must remain determined to protect the very treasures that attract the world to our shores, including our wildlife, landscapes, and rich culture. Our 15 billion tree planting national initiative is fighting climate change while enhancing ecotourism. Through the Kenya Wildlife and the Kenya Forest Services, we remain committed to protecting endangered species and supporting communities through conservancy programs. We have the vision for sustainability, which means that the benefits of tourism are shared widely as possible, from our villages and counties to our wildlife parks and coastal resorts. This concept is not abstract. It is visible. When a local family-owned guest house in Rusinga Island is fully booked, when local community groups have scheduled hiking tours around the Nzambani Hill in Kitui in eastern Kenya, when a local Uji spot on Kirigiti Road, Kiambu, not far from here, joins the list of must-visit establishments. This is how tourism will build Kenya's economy going forward. This is how tourism will forge a nation. Ladies and gentlemen, I recognize this as a dynamic marketplace of ideas, a platform for business, and a meeting point for cultures. I acknowledge that the success of tourism hinges on partnerships, for which reason the government of Kenya will continue to provide an enabling environment. I call upon all of us to make tourism the bridge between Kenya, Africa, and the world, and the sector that empowers our people. This is the sector that is best suited to tell the world who we are as Kenya, as Africa. On behalf of President William Ruto, I declare the 15th Magical Kenya Travel Expo officially open. Welcome to Magical Kenya. Asanteni sana.